All right, guys, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to join me this morning and every morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the G.A.R Capital YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me again. Before we begin, bottom right-hand corner of your screen, little white logo. Turn on click on that, turn on notifications, subscribe to our channel, like our videos, make sure to hit that like button, thumbs up. If you love these videos, thank you so much again for the support. Let's talk about it. Today is Friday, January 28th, 2022. The Dow is down 166 in futures. NASDAQ pretty much flat at 1275. That's with Apple beating their earnings and having a nice rally, which was basically cut in half from the overnight highs. Visa beat as well. They raised as well. S&P futures down about 13 points. 4305 is the level. Russell 2000 down about 0.74%. Watching that. Crude oil up 2.14%, 88.46 a barrel. I've been repeating it. $100 a barrel is coming. Now the banks are kind of joining in. There was a couple of banks that were saying above 100 for crude oil. Again, that's the level we are watching if you're long oil. We've been long oil for months with XOP. Right at $100 a barrel, we'll be taking some profits. Gasoline futures up 2%, 257. 26. Gold futures are down 0.35% at 17.88 an ounce. Again, at 1800 level, right below it now. 22.58 on silver futures, down 0.45%. Euro dollars up 19 pips, 111.63. Dollar yen, 115.31, basically flat. Looking at the 10-year yield, yields fell slightly. Yields fell slightly off the highs. Now we're at 1.823. Remember, 1957 is the major resistance. The dollar index down slightly, down 0.13%, 97.13. Remember, the dollar index, DXY, is the basket of the dollar versus other currencies in the world. Again, euro, pound, yen, Aussie dollar, so on and so forth. And the VIX is up about 1.5% at 30.97. So again, the NASDAQ is bouncing back. You could see that here. Basically, where we saw this fall was basically right at 3 in the morning. That's when London or Europe starts to trade. Now, it seems like they always keep on selling. That's why the European close right at 11:30 is so important. All right. Let's take a look at some charts here. Then we'll take a look at some pre-market movers and then answer some questions on a Friday. 4260, been saying it. That's still the support level. And it's been testing. You see 1, 2, could be a triple bottom possibly. Maybe a quadruple bottom possibly. I mean, that's still the level I'm holding. So let's see what we get there. Interesting one here on RTY, which is small cap futures Russell, right at the 100-day moving average on the weekly chart. Very, very important for Russell to hold this. If not, we're going to get down to around 1744. I posted the chart on Twitter. It seems like it should hold up. Again, I still believe that we're closer to a bottom than more of a flush. Now, again, I could be wrong as always. So, I mean, that's just my 2 cents. Let's take a look at NASDAQ futures. Kind of like that 4260 level. 1, 2, 3, 4 holds right there. The longer the period of this is considered a base. The longer we hold that level, the more likely we're going to bounce off that level, and that could indicate a bottom. So again, we're getting closer. Now, do I think it's an absolute bottom? I believe so, but that needs to be seen moving forward. But again, you can see the NASDAQ, you could see the Russell, you could see the S&P, all at that base support. RSIs, if you're into that, which is relative strength indicator on the daily on the S&P, is at oversold. NASDAQ oversold. Pretty much all of it oversold for the most part. So if you're just playing technicals today, really you're looking for more of a bounce to the upside than anything else. Let's take a look one time at crude oil. You can see a nice breakout. We'll go ahead and get above the 2-year. No, it's not gonna work. Let's take a look at a weekly. Wow, even breaking above the weekly. Now, guys, I want to make a quick anecdotal reminder on oil. If you remember, back in 2020, this is back in March 2020, when oil went as low as $6.50, even negative per barrel. No one wanted to touch oil with a stick. That was pretty much as low as it got. I mean, I don't remember a time or even reading a time where oil went negative in terms of trading, where meaning they were pay you to actually take a barrel of oil. Now, that was maximum fear. If you bought that and bought ExxonMobil, Chevron, what have you, I did not. But again, for an example, at that time, and I didn't hold, I held some XOM and I got some profits. Again, look at that, from $6 to 88. So again, even at its lowest point, that's where maximum fear takes place. There's still opportunity. I think, for example, ARKK may have that same similar opportunity. Now, we're not at the, oh my God, worst lows possible. We did break the 200-day, but low 60, I will be buying some more ARKK long term. I think getting this kind of price is worth a shot. Absolutely. Just like oil was worth a shot back at the lows. And now, again, hindsight is always 2020. Oh, why didn't I buy oil stocks back then? Well, again, you have until $100 to get there. So definitely, if you wanted to take a look at some oil stocks, again, you can take a look at CVX. CVX had a great quarter, a decent quarter, but they are down pre-market, right around $5 off. So the current share, the closing share price, and it's just retesting the 100-day moving average on the 1-hour chart. Now we're seeing the NASDAQ starting to pick up a little bit. Let's see if the Dow can go green. Just very volatile. I mean, I think all of us can agree that, we just kind of want some kind of consistent direction. And I think that we're starting to get there. We're seeing those kinds of base setups. And again, I posted this on Twitter. If you go ahead and take a look at the S&P, and I'm going to go, I took away the little clouds, the little circles that I had. We'll go to a 2-year chart, and you can see every time we've had a decent consolidation, other than COVID and other than early January, that was indication of a short-term bottom. 1, 2, other than this one, we're at a consolidation, short-term consolidation and a bounce. And then I'll go and zoom out. Consolidation, 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 consolidation. And what do you see on the uptrend? So the first consolidation we had after COVID was right in April and May. And then we soared a nice amount, right around 200 points or 300 points. Then we came back down, consolidated a little bit for about a range of around 31.29 to around 29.61. That's about 200 or so, maybe a little less. And then we soared all the way to 35.75. Came back down again, consolidated a little bit for about 33.17 for about 100 or some points. We bounced again, came back down, consolidated for a day or two, bounced again. And then we had pretty much November, which is relatively seasonally a strong month back in 2020. Then it considered that rise all the way as high as 39.36 to from 35.47, almost a 500-point rise. We came back down a little bit for a nice little range of about 100 points. Back up again, another 100 points. So it seems to be that 100 points, 200 points level seems to be that kind of range that the market has been seeing. And where are we at currently? 43.58 to 42.60. That's 100 points. That's the point that I'm making in terms of creating a base and consolidation. So I think that we're getting closer to the end than we are the beginning. Let's take a look at some pre-market movers together and then answer some questions. Bitcoin, let me see if I can get Bitcoin here as well. Bitcoin is at 37,038. Let me get the chart for you as well. I can go ahead and bring up here, this is the daily chart. You can see kind of holding that support here of around 33,000. Let's see on the hourly chart. So nice little moves here. We had a nice move, what was this? The 24th off the 32,917, and kind of staying in that range too, kind of staying in that little consolidation window of around 38 to around 37. So about $1,000 there on Bitcoin. Again, we'll see what Bitcoin does over the weekend. Again, that's what I always like seeing over the weekend is Bitcoin and crypto. Down about 0.87 on the portfolio on crypto. Again, you can see pretty much some red other than Luna, Ethereum, Polygon, and Bitcoin. I have not added to my cryptocurrency in terms of big numbers. I still do buy every week a small amount on the coins I like. Let's take a look at some pre-market movers. NIO down 3%, Lucid down 3%, Tesla down 1.34%, Ford Motor Company down 1.5%, AMD down 1.74%, Apple up 3.23%. They were up as high as 5% overnight, nearly 5.5%. Caterpillar had reported their earnings. They're down 3.85% due to cost, material costs, raw material costs. So again, that came down a little bit. Taking a look at Chevron, they had a decent quarter, down 3.86%. Visa had a great quarter, up 5% pre-market, Boeing down 0.21, JP Morgan down 0.32. Nvidia's up 0.14%, going some green. Microsoft up 0.22%, American Airlines down 0.19%, and Intel down 0.62% this morning. So that's where we are. Let's see what we get. Good morning. Next week calls on Apple maybe. Let's see where Apple does this morning. A break of 167.35, which was basically the highs of the session or the overnight session. I would say to possibly go long there. But until then, let's see what we get. I have the 170 calls expiring today. Man, we were right there possibly for an ignition up, and it just kind of fell off overnight at 4 in the morning with overnight trading. We got to see when the opening bell comes in. Let's see if the buyers come in. We did get a lot of price upgrades on Apple. So again, we just have to wait and see. But I would just wait on those. Good morning, man. Calls for SPY, please. Let's see. Well, SPY is going to be tough because you're kind of trading in a short range. So if you're trading SPY, 434.83 for a break to the upside, and I would keep it as tight as possible, 435, 436. If you're trading below, you need to break down below 424.75 for some puts. That'll get us below 442.60. Do you think the Fed will crash the markets in order to get inflation under control before the midterm election? No. Again, this is my opinion. I think that we're at the bottom. If anything, crash the market? No. Remember, we're still at correction territory. Really, the only small caps and Russell are in a bear market territory. Nasdaq's a little more down than the S&P. Obviously, I think they're down about 13 points on this drawdown, 13%, while S&P is down about 10 points something. So we did hit correction territory, but crash the market before a midterm? No, I don't think that's going to happen. I think this is the lowest point we'll get. We may retest down the line as we go along. Maybe like midsummer, we'll probably retest the lows, 42.60. We'll get like a nice snap relief rally from this oversold condition. Again, 4,500 is my level. If we break 45.10, that'd be great. Again, are we out of the woods yet? Not exactly. But again, if we can get to around 4,700, 4,600, that'd give me a lot more confidence. But 45.10 is my first really target. And so far, we've been holding that base. So I don't agree with the sentiment that the Fed is going to crash the markets. I think all of this has been priced in terms of rate hikes. Now I was reading that Citi and Goldman and Barclays and Morgan Stanley is saying 5 to 7 rate hikes. We'll see what happens. I know March will be a rate hike, but after that, I mean, I'm not going to pretend like I know that what they're going to do exactly because I have no idea. It's all forecasting at the end of the day. Thoughts on Microsoft? 300 still buy long term, missing the dip. Yeah, I know. I did buy Microsoft. I added some more the other day. I think below 300 is fine on Microsoft. You saw their earnings was absolutely amazing. It's a great, well-run company. I mean, you can't go wrong with Microsoft or an Apple. Apple was ridiculous. We talked about that yesterday. If you want to see more of the deep dive on the Apple numbers and my thoughts on them, take a look at our aftermarket recap from yesterday. It is on YouTube, and you could see my notes on that. China stocks, yay or nay? I think when it comes to China stocks, NIO and Alibaba are my favorite. I don't mind that Alibaba is down. That's fine. Again, I'm willing to hold that long term. They're extremely profitable. Right now, the political climate in terms of regulation, Taiwan is kind of getting in the way for China. Again, we talked about oil. Look how bad they were in 2020. Really paying you for taking a barrel of oil. And that time, it seemed very, very desolate where, oh my God, oil is going to be crappy forever. And then guess what? It bounces. At the end of the day, guys, oversold levels are oversold levels, and things revert to the mean. And obviously, this is a nice correction. Don't get me wrong. Well, nice in the sense it's a correction, but again, it doesn't last forever. And I think what we do as traders is that we kind of expect the worst, really like the end of the world. And that was the same thing during COVID. That was the same thing in 2008. That was the same thing in the dot-com bubble. It's never as great as it looks, and it's never as bad as it seems. That's kind of this philosophy you should have mentally when you're doing this every day, looking at the market. Tesla below 820 pre-market is a buy for you. I think Tesla below 800 is a buy, and I would definitely buy more below 800. I have 813 as a level. Let me see if I can update that to 800. It's right at the 200-day, 813, so I think 813 or 800 is a great level. That's right there on the daily 200-day moving average. If we go to a weekly chart, let me go ahead and see if I can bring up the 3-week weekly chart. And you can see we're getting closer to that 50-day moving average on the weekly chart. These are weekly candles. So again, 789 to around 813 is fine. I think that's worth a shot of buying some more. and I will be buying some more there. All right. Good morning, Anira. Thank you for joining. Good time to buy the QQQ dip. I think on QQQ, looking at it here, I think we did hit support. I think here is probably a good shot to start nibbling a little more on Qs. If you want to buy some, this is probably a good level to do so. 334.15 being the actual lowest point that we've had. Let me go ahead and remove this drawing, and I'll go ahead and place my Fibonacci levels, and we'll see what the next Fibonacci level tells us. Thought I had it here. Drawing tools. Here we go. Let's see what the extensions go. 408.71. So again, if we do break below the lows of 338.85, the next Fibonacci extension down is 287.59 and then 212.74. That's what you want to look for in terms of QQQ. Again, 333.85 around this level isn't a bad level to buy. I would say around 335 is probably a good level. But again, this is now at 341, 341.10. This is the daily chart. So we're kind of just holding pat here. All right, guys, we'll go ahead and leave it there. Have a great rest of your morning. We'll catch you guys for the aftermarket recap at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll go 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll go over all the market action and see what the weekend has for us in terms of crypto. And we'll take a look at some of the next week's economic data and go from there. Have a great one, guys. Enjoy your Friday.